I'm in the process of making and recording an EP, and I thought I'd share with you guys what I've learned so far by answering questions that people ask me and answering some questions that I had myself before I went through this whole process and during. So here we go. Number one, what is an EP? Okay, so EP stands for extended play, which is basically a short album. And I remember when I first started this journey, I was actually thinking about making a full length album, but that was a little bit intimidating for someone who's never released any of her music anywhere before. So then I started looking up, okay, how can I do something slight, something short? And I saw that there was two options basically. I could do an EP or I could do a single release. So I was like, okay, I could just work on one song. So actually, what I decided at first was that I was going to do one song just so I could get it out there and release it. And then as I was doing that one song, I'm like, doesn't feel right. I feel like this song belongs with a collection of other songs that when you listen to them together would probably make more sense or just would flow better. So I decided I am going to go for the EP. And then in the process of doing that, actually, like a full album started taking shape. But because there's a lot more I think that can go into an album, I decided for the purposes of getting the music out there, I'm just going to do the EP first and the full album will come later. So I am working on that. Stay tuned for more about that. Next question. Is it hard to songwrite and record an entire EP? So for me, I would say it's not necessarily hard to songwrite the entire EP. I'm just looking down on my notes on what I wrote. Yeah, so it definitely depends on your goals, your skill set, and the purpose. So why do you want to write an EP? Is it just for you? Is it so that you can get your emotions, your ideas, your thoughts out there from your head to something concrete? Because if that's the goal, it's not going to be as difficult necessarily. You could literally just get an app on your phone that records, I think it's like called audio recorder or something, and record yourself singing the song and singing a few songs and put that together, and that's your EP. So if that is your goal, you can literally do that pretty easily, depending again on your skills. So if you're not a skilled songwriter, if you're in the beginning of that journey, obviously it's going to take longer just to write the actual songs. If you're not as good at melodies, it's going to take longer to do that. If you're not good at playing an instrument or putting anything backtrack together, it's going to take you longer to do that. So like it honestly depends on your particular skill set. For me, I have been songwriting for a while, but I was a little bit rusty because I took a break from that. I focused on other things in life, and just recently, like within the last year or two, started getting back to that. And so it took a while, but like the skill set came back for me. So it's going to depend on you and where you're at with that. And then the other thing it would depend on is your purpose. Like I think we talked about goal and purpose are not necessarily the same thing. I think I might have talked about purpose more so before it, where I was like, is your purpose to express your emotions? Is your purpose to give the song or the EP as a gift to someone? Is it to put your music on streaming platforms, put yourself out there and like build your brand as an artist? So that would be more so of your whatever your purpose is. There might be more involved depending on how crisp you want it to sound, like how the quality of it. But honestly, like truly for any of those purposes, it doesn't have to be that hard. It just depends on you. So since I talked about purpose, goal, so what is your goal? Do you want to do a full length EP? Do you want to eventually like put it on a streaming app to make money from it? Like what is the goal? And I think once you have that, do you want to be an audio producer? Like, what do you want from it? Do you just want to sharpen your lyric skills? So once you know that, you'll be able to focus on what you need to work on to get there, and then take the easiest path to help you pull the other parts of it together, because I think, and I've talked about this in a previous video, that when you're trying to do everything all at once and you don't have the skills for it, it's overwhelming, and you might want to give up at that point because you're like, I'm not the strongest in lyrics, or I'm not the strongest in audio production, or I'm not the strongest in composing and instrumentals, or I'm not the strongest in melodies or whatever. So then you're going to be like, I want to give up because it's too much. So I would say identifying your goal will help you figure out what to do next in that regard. So then the next thing, is it expensive to record an EP? Ooh, that's a good question. Okay. And since I'm working on one now, that was a huge question that was at the top of my mind, and actually something that stopped me for a while from even doing it, because I'm like, well, if I write all these songs and finish all these song lyrics, then I put all of this down on paper, then I sing all of this and record myself, but then I want it to actually be professional so that people can listen to it and feel like it's a good quality product. I want people to enjoy listening to it. So is it going to be expensive, basically, to do that? And the answer to that question is, it depends, just like a lot of other questions, because there's a few different ways you can go about actually recording the EP. So the first way is the easiest way, the simplest way. I already talked about it before, which is that you just pick up your phone and you literally hit record, and then you hear yourself singing. Sirens in the background. The dog was barking earlier. Constructioning was happening before that, so bear with me. I'm just gonna keep going anyway. So I think we were talking about, because I get distracted easily, guys, by all the noises. Is it expensive? Yeah. So you can literally hit record on your phone, and if you have any type of basic like digital audio workstation, which just means an app on your computer or on your phone or on your iPad that records, you can record yourself with and put instrumentals together or something like that. So if you have that, you can do it yourself for free, and you can do it very quickly. But then again, it goes back to the skills. So that's the free version. Next step is if you want to record it and do it yourself at home, versus like in a professional studio. And this is where you can get tripped up, because for me, it was where I kind of got tripped up, because I'm like, I don't just want to record one EP. I have a bunch of songs, probably hundreds of songs. I don't know. I need to count it to know, but I have a lot of songs. I've been songwriting since I was a teenager, and most of it has never been shared with anyone. Just like a few people close to me have heard these songs, but in terms of the general public, I've never really put it out there like that. And so I want to, like, now I'm at a place where I'm ready to put the songs of the past out there and to write new songs to release to everyone. And so since that's the case, I'm like, if I record these songs professionally, how much is that going to cost? Like, that's a legitimate concern. But you have to really consider a lot of different things when you think about that. So if you're going to record at home, and I'm going to do a separate video on this, I already know I'm going to talk about this. Cars, motorcycles, construction, who knows? I'm going to do a separate video on this, which is like everything you would need to record at home. Or actually, I might put it in the description box. So look out for that. Because I was like, I want to save money. So what do I need? So I can just record my music at home by myself. And what you quickly realize is that a lot of these things, there are a lot of different things you could get to make the recording better and to make it sound more professional. And all of these things add up in price. So if you're thinking you're going to save money by not going to a professional recording studio, just know that in the beginning of that, on the front end, you are going to spend money. You know, there's all types of equipment you can get, soundproofing, microphone, this, that, and the other. And when got distracted, I was like, is there something moving? Okay. Forgive me. Forgive me for my distractedness. Um, but yeah, so you quickly realize it adds up. And then on top of those things adding up, here's the hidden cost that you might not be expecting is that rev your motorcycle, sir. Okay, ma'am, whoever. The hidden cost that you might not be expecting is the time that you're going to spend. Trust me on that time. You're going to spend time learning how to use all of this equipment. You're going to have technical difficulties, and because you don't have experience or skill using this equipment, you're not even going to know what it is. It could be something is halfway plugged instead of all the way plugged. It could be a part of one thing is turned on and the other part is turned off, and that's why it's not working. It could be you forgot to hit record, or like there are so many technical difficulties associated with recording at home. So like basically the original question was, is it expensive, or how expensive would it be? And if you're doing it at home, you're gonna have to basically like know that you might be able to save here on this particular item or save there, but the cost of your time and energy is something you have to factor in. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's has been a learning lesson for me, and there's been a learning curve, because how much time do you want to take to learn all of those things? Do you want to release your music sooner or later? Do you want to have that skill set that you can use multiple times in the future or not? Like, how quickly are you trying to do it, and how many things are you trying to do at once? Because it goes back to, you don't want to get overwhelmed to the point where you just decide like, I'm just not even going to do it because the equipment is too much, trying to write the songs is too much, producing is too much. I definitely know how that feels. So like, if that's how you feel, please comment below, or please, let me know so I can make more videos or talk to you guys about that aspect of it. I've addressed it a little bit in another video, but still, I totally understand that feeling. It's overwhelming. There's so much information out there. So that could be one thing to look out for. Next is obviously if you go to a professional recording studio. There and then, of course, they're going to have their prices. You're going to have to factor in some time to go in. But, depending on where you're going, you could have the confidence that you're working with a professional versus just trying to do it yourself. That DIY will get you in songwriting and audio, specifically with like recording and getting a high quality product, if that's what you're set on, which I'm convinced that not every product has to be a studio recording to be released or to be good enough. And so I have some ideas for myself personally of which songs I think I want to go the studio production route, and the professional studio production route, which songs I want to go my home recording studio, which I've set up for myself, which songs I want to go that route with. And honestly, there are some songs that I think eventually, like, I'm just gonna release them and let them be. Like, I'll record myself. I'm gonna do what I told you before, record myself singing them and release them. But right now, I'm still learning and experimenting with the different ways of doing things and the different styles. So to just figure out which one is actually gonna be the best one for me, let's wait on that. It's an active, busy day. Love it. Love it for everybody who's out and about. Love it for everyone living their lives. So yeah, I'm still experimenting with all three of those, and I will be giving follow-ups and letting you guys know how that goes, or like which one do I like better. I'm going to make sure I try all of them, and then, let you guys know what I've learned. Basically, if you're interested, comment and tell me if that's what you want to know about. I'll definitely share that with you as well. And then, so let's talk about, how long does an EP have to be? Well, according to my search, online search, It says that on average, this is just, take it with a grain of salt. You can do your own research. An EP is 15 to 30 minutes long. And, but that's not a hard fixed amount, I guess, not a hard fixed amount of time that you have to have the EP. So basically what I found out, you can make an EP as long as you want it to be. Okay. Obviously 0 seconds is not an EP, and 100 hours is not an EP that I would be listening to. So like, don't do that. But 15 to 30 minutes on average. When I started doing my EP, I read somewhere online that your song has to be 2.5 minutes to be like recognized in certain like bodies of musical awards, yeah, with certain organizations. So I was like, well, if I'm already doing the song, I might as well just make it the minimum required length, and for the most part that's not going to be that hard, because if you're writing a full song with your choruses, your verses, and all of that, and really fleshing it out, you could write a song that long. But yeah, so that was something where I was like, oh, just something to think about. There's another EP album that I have, because remember, I've had 100 songs just in the works, closet songwriting for how many years, that I'm finally releasing. But there's another kind of EP album I have in the works that has interludes. Interlude just means like in between. And so like a song that's probably not even going to be that long, maybe less than a minute, I don't know. And those are going to be interludes in between other songs as of right now, unless I flesh them out and make them full songs. But I kind of like them how they are. Like it's just a quick little something, a little snack. It's not the full meal. Okay, like listen to the other songs if you want the full meal. So yeah, that's in the back burner. I'll get to that later. But yeah, you can do an interlude. And according to my search also, I think I looked on this, it says how long. Oh yeah, so how long does each song on the EP have to be? I don't know if I said that before when I said the whole 2.5 minutes thing. Okay, and then so I also read that on Spotify the song has to be a minimum of 30 seconds if you want to be able to get royalties from it. So if that's important to you, you want to write a song that's at least 30 seconds. I mean, that's a snack. That's like a pre-snack, or is that even an appetizer? I don't know. 30 seconds is not long at all. But you know what? Like, you could write a successful song that's just a 30-second long song. And I think like you shouldn't have any limitations, because you never know. You might write something that's short, but it might resonate. It might convey everything you want to say. Like, you don't have to say anymore. Like those interludes that I wrote, I was like, I think I like it as it is. I don't really want to like try to force it to be anything more than it is right now, because that's just how I feel. But I might feel differently later on. I might feel like this could be a full song, and I'm going to like sit down and take the time and flesh it out. But you don't have to do that. And there are songs out there. I see it on the internet. Like, it's 30 seconds and it's impactful. So you can do a 30-second impactful song. Do whatever you want. If you want an EP that's literally like a 2-minute EP because it has 4 30-second songs on it, or a 2.5 minute EP because it has 5 30-second songs on it, you can actually do that. Like, I know that I have had limitations too, and that I'm working on how things have to be. Like, nothing has to be a particular way. Like, obviously we do have some constraints of like what makes a song, what makes an album, but like, you don't have to follow what's out there. And that goes for me, myself too. I don't have to follow what's out there. I can do it how I want. We can choose however we want to do it. But also I did read that in order to win some other awards, there's actually no minimum length of a song. So that's interesting. Does that mean I could write a 5-second song? I think that was the Grammys, but then again, that's Google. Check that, double check that, please. And then the next one is that I saw. Did I say 30 seconds to get royalties? Yes. Okay, yeah. So basically, and I was thinking too, like Spotify, all these other streaming, Apple Music, what are some other ones? All these, I think Amazon Music has one. There's so many probably that I don't know about. Um, you can release it on there, but you don't have to. And like that's also something I've been like grappling with. Do I have to make it Spotify ready or not? And there is something called social media ready, which is you don't even have to be ready at all. You can just go up there and say something, say anything. And so I'm trying to remind myself that as well, because I feel like I do try to be a perfectionist sometimes. Like it has to be this way and that way, and it has to be ready for this and that and that. And like that'll have you stuck forever, because I know it's had me stuck for a while thinking it has to be professional, it has to be perfect, it has to sound like what I hear on the radio, it has to sound like my favorite artist that I listen to, it has to be what everyone in the world wants to hear, which is not even possible because everyone in the world doesn't like the same thing. So how can I write songs for everyone in the world? It's just not probably gonna be possible. It's not impossible, but it's probably not gonna be possible. So like, yeah, that's something I have learned, and that's been helping me get through the roadblock of just putting my music out there. So yeah, I mean, that's all I have, I think, for this video. So far, I have 4 songs um, on my EP, and yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a full-length album eventually, guys. I'm just excited to finally share the music and just like, I think some of the topics I'm writing about are things a lot of people will be able to relate to, like going through a major transition in life, or just like moving somewhere and trying to figure your way, or breakups or whatever else, or going out with your friends. Like I have a good mix of topics that I'm writing about in this EP, but I feel like they fit together, so we'll see, we will see. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited because I'm gonna do the professional studio session soon, just to kind of see how that goes with this particular EP, because I think it could work for that. Especially because I did put a lot into the actual production and instrumentation and everything. I think it would work really well to see how a professional quality recording would be for this particular album. Whereas there are other songs I've written where I think they do follow that more acoustic route, where I'm like, just me and my piano, I think that's fine. Like I don't really need anything else. So yeah, we'll see. Thank you if you made it to the end of this video. If you made it all the way to the end, you are a real one. I love and appreciate you, and I'm hoping that you are taking those steps in your songwriting journey. If that's what you're interested, that you are doing what you need to do to express your creativity. And if you want to learn more about how to songwrite, like let's say you're really early in this process and you're still trying to figure out how to finish songs, definitely comment below, DM me on Instagram. I'll probably put a link to that as well somewhere. We'll see, depending on after how I edit this video. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you listening for this long. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? Because I will be giving more updates. Subscribe to the channel. Support me as I support you, as we support each other on this journey. And I'll see you next time. Bye.